It's just right, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Today, would be yesterday we did Instagram. Okay, but now, hey, what's up, Facebook? Happening? What's up, YouTube family? Okay. Um. Wow, this mic is good. This mic is really good, y'all. And I got a nice topic for you today. I even made some notes on my topic today because what I did not because I'm gonna try to refer some people to a couple of things if they were not aware of them. And being that it is Black History Month, this is my month. This is my birth month. I was born in February, y'all. So it's not just me saying that it's my month because it's Black History Month. No, it's because I was born in this month. And I'll be a year older. And how women do it, I don't think they do all that. All right, but anyway, look, you guys always hear me talking about a lot of different topics, things. For those of you who check me out, you know, y'all check me out and y'all will come in. Hey, mama. So y'all will come check me out periodically. Hopefully that would get better in time because a lot of the topics I'm no longer just sharing as individuals. Like I go out and talk to people. Now I get to talk to hopefully whoever tunes into the channel. So as you know, that I just started this thing, and what I would love is to try to get feedback from you guys live, right? And there will be a time where I'll be able to advance my experience as far as dealing with the people, like having a video chat or something, or a video room or a video group that we all can just talk about particular topics, and we'll be able to see each other on these screens. So until then, I'm not a tech guy. You know what I mean? And if I had somebody behind me that can hook it up, it'll be happening right now. But I have to try to learn this crap on my own, and I'm not a tech guy. So, um, that being said, I am doing my absolute best to continue something that I feel is necessary. It's in my heart to do, and that is share information every time I get information. Maybe information that you guys already know, but now if you already know it, now you know I know it, and now you know that when I get information that you might not know, I'll be the one to just be like, you know what, check this out or check that out, you know, because I still believe in that I'm my brother's keeper and my sister's keeper. Just drop something, and I don't feel like reaching for it. So yeah, and you know, I always talk about how we're being treated in this country, you know, and let me just get straight to the topic. The topic today, let me just read my notes real quick, is Black inspired children learning videos. That is kind of, it's important because you want to start at the roots. You want to start at the roots because when we look at kids or young people today, especially the ones that may not be doing the things that is conducive for their future and for the community, and we have to recognize where did it all come from, or the lack of from the beginning. So I didn't just pick up this information, but I've always been this way with my own children. And on Facebook, I have posted the title of the topic today along with my own kids. And of course, if you ever had a conversation with any of my kids to go back to when they were young, when they were little babies, I've always pushed them being proud of who they are. Always pushing them to understand. When I say pushing, I mean just teaching them, learning them, letting them open in their eyes at a younger age as far as them being proud of who they are and why they are and where we all came from and why the division or the hatred and all that other stuff exists. I had to tell my kids this stuff. I didn't want to hide it from them. And I had to tell them about my own faults along the way. So um, this is today. This is about Black history and Black inspiration of children learning videos. Black inspiration, children learning videos. Right. So I got a couple of names my daughter actually dug up these names because what what prompted me to do this today is because my grandson, he's 1 year old, he's going on 2, okay, and he got hooked on number blocks, which is not bad. He's probably going to be a numbers guy. Okay, cool. But I think we both start feeling, or all of us at the house start feeling like it seemed like everything that our little black kids look at is always, white based. It's always them telling us about how to learn something. So I thought, and she thought actually, that it would be great to show our children some things that are geared toward black people. In other words, when our little guy going on 2 years old, when he looks at TV and start to understand what he's seeing on TV, he's going to start seeing more of people who look like him. And then he'll start feeling more proud as he grows, of course, out of what we feed him at home and what we tell him about history and what we tell him about the do's and don'ts and what we teach him. It's all up to us. It starts at the beginning. So this is the roots, right? This is the roots of how a society can literally fix the next generation on the way. And that is, we don't share and settle in with the imperfect ways that we've been coming up, because we want our kids to be better than we were, right? Everybody does, right? That's why we push them. A lot of good parents, and I'm not gonna, start going battling with anybody about who do I think is a good parent or not. That's not for me to say. But I look at some of these kids out here and I'm almost like, hey, and I know a lot of kids, they just make their own decision regardless of what good of a family they come from. That's an argument in itself. I get it, and it could be an argument to any argument. Any argument that anybody was to come up with, there's always a counter argument to nullify it, but it's all a matter of what comes out in the wash at the end. How your kid really, because look, even me, I was raised by a parent who was really caring and loving and God fearing, but still I made my own decisions and got myself into some hot water. And then what what made me even think about straightening up was what had been planted in me. What was planted in me when I was a young buck, a young kid growing up. And I had to reflect on that when I was sitting in my trouble and sitting in my mess. I had to reflect on what my mama done told me, what my mama said, you know? And this is because of that, which I give high thanks to, that God had blessed me with a mother like that, you know? And a lot of people can't say that. They can't say that they can look at their parent and say that my parent did the right thing by me. Because a lot of them are involved with some things that they may not like, but they just got accustomed to, and it's just something that they do, and this is what they know, you know? So we have to start at the grassroots, and the grassroots are when we have our children. If you never had kids before, you have to actually start seeking out information on what's going to guide them in the right direction because it's new to you. It's funny about how when humans have babies versus when animals have babies, it's a natural instinct with animals, it seems, but not always natural with human beings. They have to be taught in a way, in a lot of ways, even by their little babies. When the baby cries, they don't know what their baby crying for. They have to search and find out. And they have to try this, try that, see if they're diaper, see if they're injured, see if they're hungry, see if they have a fever. They have to check for these things. And there's a lot of young people having babies who just freak out and don't know what to do and run them to someone else with have experience, maybe grandmother or grandfather or doctor, you know? But see, this social media time, this is a time of, there's no way in the world you can't know something. Now, you can find the information, but now it's a matter of where you get the information from. The author of the information. Now you got to be careful of that. You have to kind of get more than one opinions, you know, once you seek out your information when you're doing your homework. All right. So today it's all about, our children, our black and brown children. This is what I'm talking about. And I made my little notes today because I didn't want to, misquote anything. So therefore, I scrapped down some notes. I always do a little bit of homework before I actually come on if I'm going to talk about something that I feel like I want to share with you guys. So if I want to share it, then it's best for me to go ahead and take my notes so I don't say it the wrong way, because I have a tendency of doing that sometimes, you know what I mean? But not today. You feel me? Because this is too important. This is extremely important. So, Black inspired learning videos for children, right? Good stuff, man. This is what's needed to be shared. Every time I come on and talk about something, it's a burning in me to share it with you, even if you know it or not. And let's say you know it, that's fine. So teach one, teach one, teach all, right? So it's almost like, as you guys remember Arrested Development. I always say this is that they sing about a song. There's a verse, I think it's a verse in the Bible. It says, "Teach a man, give a man a fish, and he'll eat for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever." And that's what this is about. That's exactly what this is about. You know what I mean? Even if you already know it, it's always good to hear somebody else who knows it, who maybe you thought didn't. But mind you, I'm a 61-year-old grandfather now. I don't had kids, and now I have a grandkid. And now it's like sparking me back when I had my first, sparking me back to do the homework to find out what it is that, and being that now we have this this social media thing, we can find all kind of information. Now, what I found, all right, is Black inspired children learning videos. So these are a couple of names. I got about 7 of them here. I hope I pronounce them right. I practiced it before because some of them seem to be African based, but of course it's English. So we got Benno and Finno. Okay, it's an African education and fun cartoon Afro beats. That's pretty cool. Matter of fact, our little kid that we have, he don't like nothing that if it's not number blocks, he don't want, he ain't got no, he just ain't got no interest in it. So, but when she actually put on some of these Black inspired learning things for kids, and we just let it on and let it play, and we found him literally looking at the TV and getting interested in some of the stuff that he was seeing, because we're hoping that what's happening with him is that because he's starting to recognize a lot. Even when you call his name, he tries to talk back to us. He's picking up a couple of words. He understands certain command words. Of course, the big no, don't do that. We have to teach them that first and foremost along the way, and mommy and grandpapa and all that type of stuff. Come here. Things of that. Lay down, get down. We have to, hey, get down. You're gonna fall and hurt yourself, bro. Because he fell a couple of times and whacked that head, and was a little upset about it. So he's learning, right? And we're hoping that when he watches TV and he sees everybody in his house is brown, and he looks at that TV and he see them little brown kids singing and dancing and counting and learning how to spell, I think that that's how each and every Black household should be. If you want your children to grow up and be proud of who they are, not trying to shun who they are, because they're ashamed for whatever reasons. Sometimes they're just born in a real bad situation and they don't like where they are, and then they grow up, feeling bad about, I wish I was born white, or if I wish I was born another race or something, I wouldn't be going through this type thing. See, this is the stuff that some of us careless parents put our children in and don't even care that they feel that way. We want our kids to feel proud of who they are. So I want to share this stuff with you guys. So that's Benno and Finno. That's an African education cartoon Afro beats. That's pretty cool. I even watched it. Before I even came on to even talk about this stuff, I looked at it myself. And me and my little man in there, we was like, yeah. And they was all rocking to the beat and everything. And most of them, and when I say black and brown, they had blacks and Spanish, you know, and they had some even white kids in there as well. Everybody's dancing together, you know. So, but the thing is that this is more Afro based. Your kids are looking at more kids that look like him on TV. Even the little superheroes, man. I was surprised to see that. They had little freaking superheroes. Spider-Man, the Miles Spider-Man guy, you know what I mean? And okay, so there's one also called Dr. Anthony Brighton, aka Mr. B, aka Mr. B, right? I didn't watch that one yet. All right, but I'm just trying to throw out some name. And then there's Gracie's Corner. All right, and that's called. I think there's another one called LETV and Rhymes for Black Babies, right? And then there's Jules TV. That I think I looked at that one. That one was pretty cool as well. And then there's Omo Berry. Now, if y'all know Coco Lemon, I'm new at this. That's why I have to look at this stuff like this. And now, Omo Berry is like Coco Lemon songs for kids, right? Now, if you ever looked at Coco Melon, right? That they got them all singing on the bus. This the way the bus go round, the bus go. They singing all that good stuff right there, but they all little white kids on there, right? But then if you look at if you go at Omo Berry, right? OMO Berry, that the bus is full of little brown kids. Full of little brown and Spanish kids, man, singing the same songs. You know what I mean? And I thought that was pretty cool. And I was more excited than little man, than my little grandson. So I was like, hey, look at this. Hey, all right, bro. You need to look at this. I'm telling them. So yeah, I was really like, this is pretty cool, right? So and then there's Desmond Kids Jam. Desmond Kids Jam. Some of y'all may even know what I'm talking about already, And I know maybe a lot of dads and grandpops may not, but I'm a grandfather that's now learning this stuff, so I'm so excited about it. I want to share. You know what I mean? That's what I wish I had this back when I was raising my first, man. Show enough, because the stuff I used to do, man. Woo! Don't let my children tell you what I used to do to try to keep them on the black side. Keep them proud of being who they are. You know what I mean? I didn't want them to grow up thinking that, that black is a bad thing to be, because that's what it looks like society was always perpetrating on TV. You know what I mean? And social media and the news. It really wasn't a lot of social media back then, but it was the news. Still kind of social media, right? So, I didn't want my kids to start feeling any type of way about that, regardless on what they may have seen in their neighborhood and what they see on TV and the news all the time. So I wanted to kind of shed good light all the time, Smart, strong, pretty, and clean is one of the things I used to always tell my two daughters when they was growing up. And even today, we still, if we're texting each other or whatever, especially if we're texting each other, that's one of the things, that I would end it off and they would end it off as well. Smart, strong, pretty, and clean for life, right? So that is Desmond Kids Jam. And then there's one African based, but you can get it in English. In other words, they got broken. It's I think they speak their own dialect as well, but not just that they have an English version. Okay. And this one is called Ubango Kids. All right. So you look for the English one if you want. And if you want them to kind of get, some of them actually have the words going across the bottom if the accent is too deep. But the kids the little cartoons are little black kids. And it's an educational thing about Africa and everything else, And then there's 39 amazing black YouTubers for kids, of all ages. So it's I found a lot of stuff on YouTube. You know what I mean? Anytime I'm looking for something, I do, like a tutorial or whatever, if trying to teach me how to build or make or fix or just take something apart and put it back together, you go to YouTube, man. I don't have to go around and ask people who I think may be smarter than me. I can just look it up myself. You know what I mean? And it's so many people out there that's willing to help. I think that's where I get this from as well. Because every time I turn around, there's always somebody trying to help somebody on YouTube. Even workouts, eating well. Um, it don't matter. Just learning history, and then there's some people out there that's just feeding a lot of false information, and you have to kind of know the difference between what's false and what's real. And that's what we're trying to teach our kids: the real, the history. We don't want them to, because now as you see that they're trying to eliminate certain books from the schools, saying that it's a traumatic thing, and they don't want their children to be subject to bad things that have happened in history. So they rather erase it, try to erase it, which they can never do. You know what I mean? Because it is etched in stone in a lot of black and brown people. And we'll tell the Dag Nabbit story. Again, you can take them out to schools all you want. We'll just rewrite their books. You know what I'm saying? So here's one I want you guys to go check out as well. There's a young lady. She got a kids thing going on as well. It says count with Aquila and me. Matter of fact, Matter Mia is a one you can look up on YouTube, right? And she also has a lot of good stuff for young parents, young female parents, young families, young black families, and she has a whole thing on YouTube. I just actually subscribed to her today, and some of these that I'm calling out right now, I've already subscribed to because I want to support it in the best way I can, and that's all I would suggest each and every one of you to do is to go and check this out on YouTube. Check these names out. Matter of fact, I can list these names after the video. I'll just put up another. Matter of fact, on what I'll do for Facebook is just go ahead and put a list of these names that you can go and if you got little kids growing up and some of all the ages or whatever, young females, whatever, you can go ahead and check these things out, right? At your leisure, right? So now what else we got here? We got, I said Aquila and Me. It's a good cartoon and song for preschoolers, so they're doing a whole lot of preschool singing. But like I said, there is the cartoons are black and Hispanic, black and brown. That's what I'm looking at one right now. I got my music on one and I got the little program on another. And I see that I don't know which program that one is, but this one is they flash the words at the bottom, right across the bottom of the screen. So the parents can read exactly what it is that they are saying if they have an accent, right? Or if they're singing in a way that some parents may not be catching. And they're like, oh, what are they saying, right? So you can just read it at the bottom, right? That's pretty cool as well. And we always want to be mindful of teaching them Black history, not just in Black History Month. This is the thing. You don't want to just teach your kid Black history just because it's February or January or March. You know what I'm saying? It should be all year round. That's the way it's always been with me and mine. All year round. I think that's why I've developed to be this kind of person that I am today. And I'm going to tell you like this. I am very proud of my people, regardless on the bad apples. I am extremely proud of all the accomplishments a lot of my people have accomplished in these hard times being raised in this racist country called America. And there's no way in the world that anybody's going to tell me otherwise that this country is not racist. Okay? Now, I just heard, man, I ain't gonna get into the politics. I was just getting ready to do that too, just now, and I caught myself. So let's go on back to this. Hey, and the one that got me the best was the little black Spider-Man and his little buddies. He got two buddies, and they just do everything big Spider-Man do. You got the Miles. It's not Miles Davis, but it's Miles Morales. It's Miles Morales Spider-Man now. And that is so cool. I watched that whole movie or show or whatever. I think they're coming up with another one. But the animation in that one, man, being I'm an artist and all, I was like, wow, I'm looking at the details of how they did the animation, and I was hooked on that. You know what I mean? Now the concept was cool. Whoever got, matter of fact, instead of me always saying whoever did that, I need to come up with some facts and points of who actually did it. I should have their names and share that with you guys. I'm gonna start doing even deeper homework on that stuff, so I can stop saying whoever did it. You know what I mean? I need to know. All right. So, and then there's an animated Black History, scientist, and invention thing that you can find. Also, a channel that you can find, which I think I made. I have become a member of that one as well, and it's all animation, and it's just teaching the kids. They're telling the story about the accomplishments that Black people have done and contributed to this country. You know, so many things. I could just go ahead and do the homework and just get down a big list, and it would fill a lot of pages in my little book here, right? And share that with you guys, and y'all share it. Or maybe, if you like, hey, I ain't got time for all that. Okay, fine, but let your kids look at it. I mean, here's the time right now that we're not doing a whole lot of social events. Now, of course, we're trying to get back to that point. Some people are jumping too soon. But, if you're not going to school like it used to be every day except for the weekend because of this COVID situation, then there's learning programs for all ages, right there on social media. And of course, you want to do a little bit of homework on Google to find out which would be the best one, because you got a lot of scholars. A lot of scholars will validate the ones that you really should look at, who will be telling you the absolute truth. It's not like a Wikipedia, a Wackopedia. You know what I mean? Because of course, a lot of people know that you can go to Wikipedia, and then some people can go in there and actually change some of the information just to mislead people. So you want to be careful with that. If it's anything connected with Wikipedia, I wouldn't suggest, right? But outside of that, and then you always want to check in more than one source. You always want to check more than one source, right? Just to make sure that you're on the right track. You know what I mean? So these learning videos for these these Black learning videos for brown and Black kids, I think they are beautiful. They're great. They have little songs. They put the little songs together, and they out there dancing. You know how the little kids be dancing, right? They're doing all that kind of stuff, right? And it's just a new fun way. I think that they are. And when you look at the little characters, some of them got braids, little afros, big afros. They got colored hair. They got dreadlocks. I mean, it's cool to see that, man. And that is, I think, what makes the difference. In every culture should have that type of learning experience. If you're going to be, if United States is this big melting pot, they always talk about we're so diverse. Okay, but if we're very diverse, then we should also have a learning process that is diverse as well. It shouldn't be just one type of people that you always see on TV. You know what I mean? Remember, the country is diverse. It's got so many different people here. So you can't just cater to one. And that's what the problem is why a lot of people are so hateful and mean, because all they want to see is them, because that's all they've ever seen. There's some people who can live in the United States and haven't seen a Black or brown person in person all their life, just about, until they go to college. And then when they get to college, all they have to go by is what they've seen predicted about brown and Black people on TV and the news. You know what I mean? So what do you think they're going to do and how they're going to respond? Some of them freak out. They don't know what to do. My daughter told me a story. It was kind of funny the other day, right? While she was in college. So she's sitting at her table eating her meal, out there in the cafeteria. And funny thing, she happened to look up, and across the way, there's a white person just staring at her, like the white person was watching TV. And my daughter was like, really? So she didn't leave the table, but she got up and moved to another seat in which had her back turned to the person who was staring at her. And I can imagine what was going through that person's mind. They're actually looking at a black person real time. And it's like, oh, wow, they eat just like we eat. I wonder how their hair feels. I mean, those type of things. See, that's what you don't want to put your children in. You don't want to put your children in that type of position. Or as they're growing up, you want to make sure that let them understand that this is a diverse country. And just because you've been sheltered all your life on the ranch or wherever but it's still good to be able to mingle with other people outside of your own race. You know, I remember a time, let me tell you a quick story. I used to be scared of Spanish people when I was coming up. The only thing that really scared me about them was that they wasn't speaking English all the time. And I didn't know what the snap they were saying. And I felt like they were setting me up. I'm paranoid, man. What you say? What was that? Dude, watch him, he's setting you up. You know what I mean? So I didn't know. But then when I started picking up a little bit of Spanish and recognizing that, even if they were talking about me, or whatever the case is, I picked up on a couple of those words, and I was able to be feeling a little more whoosah now, because they're struggling just like I'm struggling. They're trying to make it in this country just like I'm trying to make it. You know what I mean? So for the most part, they've been treated by this country, if not worse than black people. So I'm like, shoot, you in the same boat with me. So I shouldn't really be fearing you, and you shouldn't really be fearing me. And I think after I matured about that and started to understand their culture and understand who they were, I had no more fear. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I even dated a Spanish girl one time. You know what I mean? That's how much I lost my fear. you know? And it was very interesting, I would say. It was very interesting. And I think that we all should look outside of our own and try to understand one another under this so-called melting pot called USA, America. You know, peel back the fake cover of what it really is and how it's really been operating towards certain people. And then the people who were literally trying to uphold the injustice that have happened years ago and just trying to be like, okay, we're never going to change this thing. It's never, we don't care how you feel about it. We're going to keep our monuments and keep our flags and keep our ways and keep the laws that's definitely geared against you. We don't care. That is what is being peeled back. That fake front is being peeled back. And now we're starting to see the country and the people running the country for who they really are. And they don't like that feeling. So now they come up with a thing that they will suppress votes. They just run you over, just take mailboxes and take sorting machines and take out books. Now you want to talk about the cancel society. That is sound like what they do, and we refuse to let that happen, is why I wanted to share this with you as well. And every time I come on here, I may talk about a problem with us or the world or white people, black people, Spanish people, Chinese people. I may talk about everybody, but I also have a solution at the end. I always try to give my personal opinion of a solution. That's what I like to do, and that's the reason why I'm driven to do this live at 5. And I've been doing this stuff, actually, I just didn't call it live at 5. And I haven't been coming on every day. And for Facebook, it's every other day. And for YouTube, it's basically every day. I'm going to be doing the live at 5 as much as I could. Because I got a lot inside of me, up here and in here, in my heart and in my mind, I want to share. And I plan on doing it. You feel me? So on that note, y'all, whoever checks me out later, because I ain't going to say, I ain't going to say too much, but I'll say this here. It is time for us to start standing together better than we have been doing. And I'm talking to everybody. I'm not just talking to my people. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking about the levels of brown and black people. All right. The people who respect us. I'm talking to you too. I'm even talking to the haters of us. We all better start learning how to stand together because it's very necessary in order to keep this country alive. It's necessary to keep this country alive. The concept of having a diverse country back in the day, that was a success. It's here. And guess what? It's so diverse, you're not going to turn the clock, turn the hands of time back and stop it. It's here. Deal with it. Learn how to share. Learn how to share. Stop being so dagnabbit greedy. That's my advice to the haters of black and brown people, because we ain't going nowhere. And we ain't our ancestors. Remember that. Okay? So, on that note, y'all, listen. I try to love each and every one of y'all, but I can't, you know, because some of y'all just too dagnabbit hateful, man. But I'll say this. God bless you anyway. God bless each and every single one of you, lovers and not so much lovers of us. Right? God bless you. And on that note, treat people like you want to be treated. Let me see if I can do this the right way. This is for YouTube, y'all. Y'all not going to get this. Treat people like you want to be treated, and it'll come back around because it has for me. I got something special I'm going to do for YouTube. I'm going to drop another video that I did last night. and it's called The Voice of Evil. Ooh, y'all need to check that out. It's not that long, but I just, just the concept of what's being said, not looking at my face. Don't worry about it. I wish I had a mask when I did that last night, but just listen to what I was saying. Some of us, All right. On that note, one love, family. We'll see you on the next round tomorrow. I won't be on Facebook, but I'll be on Instagram. YouTube, I'll be on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah. All right, let me see. Let me y'all just be more loving to each other, please. I don't care what color you are, what denomination you are, just love each other. You say you love God, then love the people like you love God. Peace.